YOLO. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Tiffany. Good morning, babe. So, I was over there. I was playing around at Code's house, Binary Code, if y'all don't know who he is. And I'm going to say this right now. I wouldn't let no motherfucker on these streets punk me or sun me like a little bitch without saying something back. I'm sorry. I'm going to say something back. Even if I ain't reading the field, even if I ain't doing a good job, I'm still going to try. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, Mr. Malik. I like you, but you let that dude son the fuck out of you by what I heard. He said you suck D, and he said that you basically a punk bitch, and you allowed that disrespect just because your wife was asleep. I'm going to tell you something. That's when I would have got my happy ass up out of bed. I would have walked my ass outside that room so I wouldn't wake up my partner, right? Like if I was up in here and let's say I was on a panel, let's say my husband was asleep, right? And I didn't want to wake him up or he was taking a nap, right? That's when I would have got my happy ass up out of bed, walked into the next room, and cursed that other motherfucker out. Now tell me I'm wrong. You gonna let somebody son you like that? I like you, Mr. Malik, but I'm still saying you shouldn't. You should. Don't let no motherfucker son you like that, because then the whole sector gonna run around saying you a punk, you this, you that. Especially when it comes to another man. They're gonna say you like to attack women, but not men. That's what's fixing to be the narrative that's supposed to run around these streets. That's what's fixing to go around. Now tell me I'm wrong that we don't know the sector well enough, Miss Tiffany. Tell me you don't know the sector well enough. That's the narrative they fixing to run around with about him. When he should have off of GP just read that motherfucker for filth. And you ain't gotta necessarily raise your voice. If you're being on the panel and able to talk without waking her up, you don't necessarily have to raise your voice and scream to get your point across. You know what I'm saying? To get your point across. You could have very well read him for filth in the same tone that I'm using right now. That's why he shouldn't have let that dude, punk his ass. I'll be damned. Did y'all see me let anybody who has came after me punk me? Hell no. And I'm the white girl in this sector. I'm just telling the truth. Hey, watch your love. Good morning. Have y'all ever let somebody punk me like that? If they call me out, didn't I hit that link and didn't I talk back? I did. I talked back, didn't I? Over in our sector, in the beef sector, we had a talent show this weekend, right? At Big Lemon's house. Well, Mr. Malik was giving his commentary about one of the winners. And he said some things where he didn't like him and don't think he should have won first place. Because he didn't like that he was like Tupac or something like that. Oh, no. And so they was up at Lolo's house, and old dude got up there and called him out, called him a wet P word, a pussy, and all kind of shit to his face. But yet he didn't talk back. That's somebody punking the shit out of you. That's somebody sonning you, and you saying you can't say nothing because your wife asleep. Well, if you still on the panel and you talking and you ain't waking her up, you could use the very same, tone you're using and still cuss him out and not wake your wife up. I'm just saying. Or if you think you're going to raise your voice, walk into another room. Don't let somebody son you or punk you or call you a bitch. I'm just saying. Don't do it. Ain't nobody son me on this bitch. Not to my face. They may try to talk shit behind my back. There's a difference between the two things. Because if I'm up on panel and that person jumps up on panel, I'm not jumping down. I'm going to cuss them smooth the fuck out unless I have legal proceedings. Now that I can understand. If you got legal proceedings with a person, you know what I'm saying? And you legally can't be on the link with each other. I can understand that, right? But if it ain't no legal proceedings whatsoever, unless they beneath you, and then you say they beneath you. You say, you beneath me, bitch. I'm better than you, But you still don't let them son you. You still say something back. Not, oh, I'm gonna meet up. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Nah. See, that's what happened over there in Cali, or was it Georgia? My bad, Georgia, Georgia. Where old dude unalived those two people on YouTube. People want to always holler, I'm gonna pull up, I'm gonna meet up, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, you don't know if you pulling up somebody's house and they got a pow pow, and they don't feel like fighting, and they may take you out this world. See, this kind of leads into to where people who may be not from my sector and may not understand what's going on, it kind of leads in that. How many of in these sectors have we seen people say, I'm gonna pull up, I'm gonna fight, right? Yeah, it was Vegas. It was Vegas. That's why, I'm sorry, my bad. Thank you, babe. I totally got the wrong damn place. Shit. 5 different places I done said. Wrong one. My bad. Thank you, watcher. What happened in Vegas, right? Where those, that they was like, I'm gonna pull up, I'm gonna do this. You never know. This is why I tell folks, be careful playing these games. Be careful playing these games where you call a CPS on people. Be careful playing these games where you calling this person, that person, messing with people's families and shit like that. Because you don't never know when there is a crazy motherfucker that is willing to go to prison for taking you out of this motherfucker. You don't know. Especially, here's the thing, and they could get a defense of crazy. If you took their only thing in this world, let's say their kids or something like that, and you took that away from them, their only hope in this universe, the only thing they got left, and they have nothing left to lose, you're playing a very dangerous game. Very dangerous, because here's the thing. A person can snap, and I do mean snap, and if they snap good enough, they could take you and your entire family out, and they don't care. Because they don't snap. They don't lost the only thing that they had left in this universe. Hey, TNW Logger. Now, I'm not saying in Vegas that's what happened with that situation, but I'm saying it is a cautionary tale. Think about how many people on here want to pull up and fight each other. Well, you don't know if that other person is not a fighter, and they may have a pow-pow. We almost saw that in the Mode 3 sector. It was Brandon and what was that other dude's name? There was these 2 dudes in the Mode 3 sector. I know a lot of y'all don't know the Mode 3 sector. And they were gonna, supposed to fight head up, fist to fist. One dude had a pow-pow. And he told everybody, now I'm not saying the sector didn't punk him for this, but what good would it have done if this dude would have took the other dude's life? And we almost saw it on camera. We almost saw it on camera. He pulled out a pow-pow. What would have happened if he had pulled that trigger? Brandon would have no longer been here with us. Over what? Some dumbass YouTube beef? So you're going to lose your life. And both parties' lives are going to be ruined for the rest of their life over some bullshit over the internet. Really? So it's just like, hey, not afraid to stand alone. Hey, love. It's just like with this Vegas incident, right? We have so many people that say they're going to pull up on each other. You don't never know when somebody else may have a pow-pow. You don't never know if somebody else is crazy enough to pull that trigger. You don't know. And bullets don't have eyes, baby. They don't see. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? These people need to stop playing such dangerous games on this internet. And you calling CPS on somebody, or you calling the police on them, making false police reports. And let's say that what you're trying to do actually works, and you take everything from a person, every bit of their hope, every bit of their dreams away. You're playing a very dangerous game. This goes for the other situation too. JT and them, y'all playing, I'm telling you, you are playing a very dangerous game. You're playing with people's lives, their real lives, not shit on the internet, not talking shit on the internet. The shit you doing, taking it offline, that shit is dangerous. You're going to run up on the right mofo that's just crazy enough, and something's going to happen. You keep playing these games, so you think you're getting away with it. But one day you're going to run up on the wrong motherfucker. And that's all it's going to take, baby. Especially if they have nothing left to live for. If you take their only hope in this life away and they have nothing left to live for, that's a very dangerous person. Because now they have nothing holding them back to keep them from going to jail. They don't care if they go to jail. That's what people don't understand. When you take a person's last hope and all they got left in this world that they love away from them, they have nothing left to live for. They don't care anymore. They don't care what happens to them, so they really not going to care what happens to you. When a person stops giving a damn about themselves and what happens to them, they really ain't going to care about you. And you're the person who did it to them. So you can imagine the rage and the anger that they have towards you. And they would be willing to take out innocent people around you for that shit. Do you understand that? You're not only putting yourself in danger, you're putting the people around you in danger. The people that you supposedly, if you really love them, if you really care about them, you're putting them in danger too. Because as I've stated, a bullet don't have eyes, baby. A bullet don't see. And it don't care if you're an innocent bystander or not. You take away a person's last hope, last love, that's a very dangerous game. And a lot of these people are playing very dangerous games. They calling CPS on people. They making people lose their jobs. They trying to pull up on people, and they don't care. Now, I will say, yeah, two people fight, mutual combat. It is what it is. But also, you got to look at some people ain't going to want to fight hand up, hand up. You know, back in the day, I will say this, it has changed. It has changed. Back in the day, people would fight head up, fist to fist. And if you lost, you lost. But nowadays, people are quick, if they so much as trying to lose, to pull up a piao and take somebody's life. How many times have we seen this on the streets for real, in real life? You know what I'm saying? People are afraid to fight nowadays and more willing to pull that piao and do those things, right? So you can't even trust that a person really wants to fight and they ain't going to take you out. And some people don't care about that simple. I don't care about that simple assault charge. I'm just saying. You mess with me enough and I don't care about that simple assault charge. I will pay my little fine and get the fuck out of that shit because I've never been in trouble a day in my life. Hold on just a minute, y'all. But no, yeah, so here's the thing. Like a lot of us, if you mess with us far enough, if you push us, we ain't scared to get that simple assault charge. I'm just saying. I ain't scared of it at all. Walk up to you, don't even know who the hell you looking at, and all of a sudden they knock you smooth the fuck out. Not to mention, you know, some of us got family all over. All of a sudden, a random individual just come up and knock you the fuck out. How the hell you gonna press charges when you don't know who the person is that just knocked you the fuck out? You don't know who they kin to. You don't know who their family member is. It was just some random individual, right? It could be from anybody. That's another thing that people don't understand is that some people, right? We got people all over the United States, right? And I'm not the only one. There's a bunch, right? And so some random ass individual may walk up to you and knock your fucking teeth out. How you going to press charges when you don't even know who that person is? You can't press charges against a person you don't know who they are. And you have no name, nothing. You better hope there was a camera around that got a picture of them or something. Because if not, how you going to press charges on a person you don't know? And that's the crazy part that I try to tell these people on the internet. Here's the thing. You could be talking about somebody in Cali, right? And you're all the way in, I'm going to use Chicago for a reference, right? From Cali to Chicago, right? But that person in Cali got family in Chicago, right? And that person's family hear about it. That person send them a picture of said person, right? And they see him on the street. And they're like, oh shit, that's that motherfucker that was fucking with my cousin. Let me go take them out on GP. Let me go knock the fuck out of them on GP. Right? Let me go jump this motherfucker with about 5-10 of us. And then how you supposed to do something about that? And a lot of people ain't even gonna tell. That's true, not afraid. A lot of people ain't even gonna tell nobody they coming from. No, the only people that usually say they're gonna come for somebody are the ones that can't fight. They all talk. You get what I'm saying? All talk, no bite. A real biter ain't gonna talk about it. They ain't gonna say shit. You ain't gonna know. I'm just telling you. There's gonna be some random motherfucker walk up on you one day and stole off on your ass, knock your ass smooth the fuck out. You're gonna be on the damn ground. And you ain't gonna know who that person was. How you gonna take out papers on somebody you don't know? You better pray to God there's some cameras around to get a picture of them. And even if those pictures ain't good enough, and a lot of these cameras really ain't got good, they grainy as shit. You know what I'm saying? They grainy, so what you gonna do? Hey, Miss Raditha. So that's another thing. You know what I mean? So, like, you also got to not only look out for the fact that, you know, like, not only could that person do it, but they may have cousins you don't even know about. They could have family members that are, you know, gang. They could have family members that could have you jumped and done all kind of different ways. People disappear every day. That's all I'm going to say. So you got to be real careful sometimes who you mess with. You don't know how they connected. You don't know who they connected to and who their family is. Because some folks have family that ain't really family, if you feel what I mean. And you don't never know when you messing around and you're going to fuck around and find out, mess with the wrong one. You don't know if somebody's family member might be the FBI, CIA. You don't, I mean, it could be a lot of different things, right? You could have somebody that got family members that make people disappear. You don't know. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you wind up with like all these charges or extradition things. You don't even know what happened was. You don't think that some people might not know some crooked motherfuckers in the government to fuck your whole life up and you just disappear? Shit. And they'll cover that shit up too? It can happen. You got to be real careful. Be careful before you fuck around and find out. That's all I got to say. You don't never know. Now, there's some people that you know that y'all can have words back and forth, right? And you know it ain't going to be that serious. It ain't never going to get that deep. But know thy enemy. This is what I was trying to say up on Lemons the other night when I was talking about Shakim and who he was fighting. I was like, know thy enemy. Always know your enemy and know what they really will do in real life. Because you got to research a motherfucker sometimes if you're fixing to get into a large beef with them. You know what I mean? You got to look them up, see if they really about that life, because you don't know. You don't know. Know thy enemy too. If you're going to read them for filth, read them for the facts of their life, not for the falsities. And don't be so quick to jump in. Don't be so quick to dox a motherfucker. And don't be so quick to take it real life. That's where people, I believe, on this internet take it too far. Also, talking about people's kids and dead relatives, that's a whole nother ball game too. Just words. Those words alone can get your ass got. Because you don't never know whose niece that is or nephew. You don't know whose grandmama that was or whose big mama that was or whose auntie that was, if they love her to death. And you just talk smack about her and don't even know her. And there are people who will smack you upside your head just for speaking on her. That's what I try. There's a certain way to do it. to where you're not carrying it too far to where it will go real life, right? If you're going to talk smack about somebody, if you're going to do that, right? Because I'm from the beefing sector. We do that occasionally. We're going to when I do it, I'm talking strictly to that person. I'm not going to bring in their family members. I'm not going to talk about their children because that's their kids. I ain't doing that, right? I ain't going to talk about their children. It ain't their children's fault. Why that grown-ass adult acting a fucking fool? You know what I'm saying? And I don't start beefs with people who don't start with me first. I ain't going around just starting random beefs. I ain't going around cussing folks out for no reason. Every time I have ever cussed a motherfucker out, I had a reason. A good reason. Not a bullshit reason, a good one. You know what I'm saying? That's true. I will say that if you're not the one to take it offline, but you want to fight back that way, that's your choice. If somebody take it offline with you and have been taking it offline with you, and you want to go back and punch them in the gut, do what you got to do. I ain't going to tell you not to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't be the first person to do that. Just like I wouldn't be the first person to go low, if that makes sense. But if you go low, think about it like this. If you go low on somebody, don't expect them not to take it to hell, baby. Because they will. And they can, and they should, as they should. Yep. I'm going to say that too, not afraid to stand alone. Yep. I'm going to say that anybody who goes for a person's family, their kids, dead relatives, you've already lost. If you can't read a person for filth, for what they look. I mean, here's the thing. We're reading people for filth, right? You can look at somebody's picture right now. Like I could jank on myself right now, right? I could say that, I'm Casper the Friendly motherfucking Ghost. Realness that I could blend in with a wall. And bitch, the only way you could see me in a white room is my hair. That's it. Because bitch, I blend in with the wall. I'm so white that white ain't white, bitch. And I can make fun of myself, call myself a fat ass bitch, all this other stuff, right? Make fun of myself. You can do that with other people. Right? So why do you need to reach for their family? Why do you need to reach for their children? Why do you need to fuck with them offline when you can keep it on here? You know what I mean? Hey, broom shaker, shaker, shaker. Like, I could keep it on her. I could talk about okay, when I have got into beefs, right? Both persons that we've talked it out or whatever, did you ever hear me? Has anybody ever heard me talk about a person's kids out of my mouth? Nope. Never done it. I don't have a reason to. The children are innocent. But I can't tell somebody else not to take it to hell if you've already taken it low with them. If you go low with them and you dox them or you bother their kids or their children or their family, I can't tell them not to take it to hell with you because you went low first. And see, that's one thing that I enjoyed about talking to, who was that the other day? Judge Fifi, when we were speaking. Judge Fifi said, if you don't take it to hell with her, you don't take it low, and you just keep it on her, she going to keep it on you. So it's going to be a back and forth between the two of you about each other. But if you take it to her children or you take it to hell, she going to take it to hell back. Now that I can understand. That is true, Miss Verdicta. There's also other things you can do besides fucking with folks, right? I mean, we have so much news that goes on in the world. We have so much things that happen in the world. You know what I mean? That we could literally speak about. We don't have to read each other for filth all the time. But I'm going to tell you, it does happen, especially in certain sectors of YouTube, right? And there's always going to be somebody that you either don't gel with for whatever reason or another. Y'all just don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? So you may have a beef with that person. Or they may have a smart ass the way they speak and you don't like it. And so you're going to want to cuss them smooth the fuck back out. Oh, watch up. If you're in the bushes, boo, Miss Verdicta asked if you still here. Because, sometimes Miss Raditha, she be busy. And so I had to holler out for her if somebody in the chat won't speak. But thank you, Not Afraid to Stand Alone. I have a Southern accent with a little bit of splash of Memphis in there and a few other things. So it just be all over the place. But that's one thing I don't believe, though, is like if I was in a beef with, let's say, Miss Raditha, right? I'm going to keep it between me and Miss Raditha. I'm not going to bring her kids into it, her grandkids into it, her auntie, her long-lost cousin. None of that bullshit, right? It's going to stay strictly on me and that person. When I was reading and messing around with that crazy-ass white dude, I kept it on him. I kept it on him and the other person that be online. I didn't take it to his family members. I didn't talk about his sister, his daddy, his cousin, his long lost auntie, some bullshit like that. I kept it on him. I read his ass for filth. Now, I have said multiple times that he put his own daddy in danger. That's the truth. That's the God honest truth. You don't like the truth shall set you free. When you give out your daddy's address, you put him in danger. When you gave out your daddy's real name, you put him in danger. You put people in danger by what you're doing. If you wouldn't do those things, you wouldn't put people in danger. Like, here's the thing. I didn't come at you for no reason, sir. There was a reason. It was the way you treat people, the way you talk to people. If you had just been a cool-ass individual, you wouldn't have even been on my radar. I would have ignored the fuck out of you and would have missed all the other shit that you had done. I'd have never looked into you. Not once. Wouldn't have even thought about it. Wouldn't have had a second thought process on it. Would have just been like, oh, okay. He just passed it through, whatever. I would have ignored it. But when you start talking to people the way you talk to people, that's why people pay attention. And that's why people be like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? And then they go look. And they go, oh, fuck. This is not a good person. You know what I'm saying? It would have been very simple. Hey, girl, Ryan Boo. Hey, Miss Beth. Miss Beth, that's why I've decided to go back to my regular programming. You know what I'm saying? My regular programming before I started really fucking with anybody or talking any shit or reading people for filth and all this shit. It's because sometimes certain people ain't worth it. Not to mention you realize that it's the only way they feel important is for people to talk about them. And when everybody shuts up talking about them, they feel like a little pissant. And that's what I really want you to feel like, is a pissant. Some folks thrive off that attention. And so what's the best way? What's the best way to take that away? It's just take it away fully. They ain't worth it. They want you to do that. Y'all, Room Shaker, I'm going to start. That's what I'm starting to do, Room Shaker. I'm concentrating on my content. Good morning, Mr. JB. Because think about it like this. There is so much in this world we can talk about, right? How many news articles do we see every day? You could talk about the news. You could talk about your hobbies. You could talk about the things that you like to do. You could talk about, like, if you wanted to, you can just have conversations with folks. You can quite literally talk about how your day was yesterday. And, you don't necessarily have to do all that shit. Now, I will say, we all know this, drama sells, so you're going to get more numbers when you're doing drama and stuff. Everybody knows that. But if you want to grow your community, right, into a positive community with positive people in it who are positive to each other and love up on each other, right, that's the drama is only going to expect people for you to be more dramatic all the time, right? If you start back with your regular content, yes, you may have low numbers at first, but the people who do come around and stay around are doing it because they like you. Because they like you, not, and it's organic, right? They're not staying around because of the drama. Because you'll figure that out and see that a lot of people will be around you when you're in the mess and you're in the drama, and they disappear when you're just chilling. You'll notice that, right? That's true, Miss Beth. And I'm going to tell you this. That's why I'm just chilling and everything else. And I'm just doing my little content, my regular old content. I'm not paying attention to none of that bullshit. They've talked about me still, and guess what I do? My ignore game is on point. The only way I find out about it is if other folks tell me. Because I ain't watching it, and I don't care. I truly do not care. I'm going to say this. I really don't get triggered. And people want to trigger me, but it's real simple for me to ignore the fuck out of you. My ignore game is at 1,000, baby. I'll ignore it to the ignore it. Because here's the thing. I got to explain this to folks. There is a set of trolls who do that. And if you ignore them long enough, they'll leave you alone. Why? Because you're not fun anymore. They want somebody to fight back. Because if not, it makes them look like the bully, the asshole. Real simple troll math. Real simple troll math. Yep, that is true. People who tell these lies on people are attention seekers. They want the attention. That's what it is. Exactly, Miss Beth. I'm just saying right now, I'm chilling. Now, today I'm supposed to go out. I got to tell y'all about it. What had happened yesterday, what had happened today. My father-in-law's down. Well, they got their house built from the ground up. Well, it's moving a lot faster than we thought it would be. They may be moving down here by the next month or so. That's how fast it's moving. That's how fast it's moving. They may be in the house sooner than we thought it would be. We thought it would be by next year. No, it may be sooner than we thought. So today, my father-in-law's down. We're going to be looking at some stones for around the house and stuff like that. Yesterday, I went to my son's orthodontic appointment. He has a tooth that needs to be pulled before he can get his braces. So we got to do that first. And then in September, they're going to relook about doing his braces. Because, once you start doing the braces, they're more permanent. And he also may have to look at something else. They're going to, they put us out until September to look at that or whatnot. Yeah, I'm going to say this. It's like when I came into the beef sector, right? I had to earn my respect. I had to earn, being cool with everybody. I had to earn that shit, right? And it took time. It wasn't like, yesterday, I'm just, da. No, the reason people love me in my sector is because I earned that shit, right? And over time, the more people see you in chats and the more people interact with you, they're going to care in a way. So you're going to have people that go, are you okay? I haven't seen you in a while. I've been missing you. Like I'm that type. Like it was so good to see Girl Rex. I know she's been busy as hell. And I worry about y'all when I see you, Miss Beth. When you're not around, I worry about you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, are they okay? Because that's just the type of person I am, right? But I've always told everybody in any sector, real life always comes first. Don't never, ever put this YouTube bullshit above your real life. Do you know how many relationships I've seen? How many relationships I've seen ruined because of YouTube? How many friendships I've seen ruined because of YouTube? Or how many people's lives, they ruin their lives because of it because they care more about it than they do the people around them? No, don't do that shit. Care more about your peoples. You know what I'm saying? Care more about the people you got around you at this moment. No, Miss Beth, I think a lot of people absolutely do adore you. And it's because you're not a problem starter. Same with Miss Raditha. Same with American Honey. That's why I can't believe they try to put y'all on hater list. Because I'm like, y'all are like unproblematic. You know what I'm saying? Like you have unproblematic people and problematic people. And I admit I'm a problematic person. I will start some shit and I can be messy. I admit it. It is the truth. I stand in my ish. You know what I'm saying? I stand in my ish, Miss Beth. I know that I could be a messy bitch. But, there are a lot of people that are completely unproblematic, who ain't messy, who don't do dumb shit sometimes. I do dumb shit sometimes. I admit to it. I know when I mess up. You know what I mean? I stand in my ish. Am I always perfect? No. Am I trying to be perfect? Also, no. There's no such thing as perfect. I'm going to say I'm doing better, Miss Beth, about learning how to control my mouth sometimes. Because sometimes my mouth get me in trouble. Mr. JB, I ain't messy. I'm totally innocent and perfect. I can see you saying it like that, and I can see you like giving people the like. You know how people do the bashful look where you're looking at them and you grinning. I can see just this little evil grin coming on your face when you saying that, just looking like I ain't doing nothing. I'm trying, Miss Beth. I'm trying to learn how to control my mouth, child. I am. And girl, Brian, I have missed you, baby. I'm glad to see that you around. You okay? Same thing, Miss Beth. I've been noticing your absence. When I see, here's the thing. You may not think it, but I notice when y'all ain't here. I pay attention. And when I don't see you for a little while, I'm going to give it a minute because I know you got shit going on in your real life. And I don't want to reach out and bother you. Some of y'all don't have ways to reach out to you, right? But I'll start thinking about it like, I ain't seen Miss Beth in like a week. Where the hell she at? I ain't seen Girl Ryan in like 2 or 3 weeks. Where's she at? Miss Candace, you all right over there? Like, if I don't see y'all, and I know Miss Justice got some real things going on in her life, y'all don't think I ain't worried about Miss Justice right now? Like, I pay attention to all y'all. Y'all just don't know it. I've noticed that CFM Queen ain't been in here. I've been worried about her, but I saw her somewhere else, so I know she all right. You know what I'm saying? I notice when people ain't around that was around and all of a sudden ain't around for whatever reason or another. And don't think I ain't paying attention, because I do. Yeah, see, I do know that too. I know a lot of people are in my clouds or in my bushes when they're busy. But as long as I see you are okay, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. I do understand some people have moved away from me for whatever reason or other because I allow people in my chat that they may not like. And if they want to take that out on me, fine, so be it. You know what I mean? Whatever. I am not getting in the middle of the shit. If you want to say, well, I ain't going over there because such over there. It is what it is. I don't care. Because I'm not telling somebody to get the fuck out of my chat and ain't been nothing but nice to me. I'm not doing that. That would make me an evil bitch. I'm not going to do it. The only way that I will tell a motherfucker to stay the fuck away from me is if I know you doing some really fucked up shit. Then I'm gonna be a little more. I'm gonna be a little more, a little bit more crazy on that shit. Good morning, TT. You doing the verdict watch right now? Hey, Mr. John Agabata, how you doing this morning? Hey, Racing Stars, boo. I'm going to tell you this. I love every person that walks in this door who sits down with me and chilling with me. Let me know how you doing or what you doing. Every single one of you. Like, I care. I truly do care about you as a person. Not on some YouTube bullshit. On some for real life shit. Like, you all right? You doing okay? Ain't it the waiting game that sucks, Girl Ryan? We was talking about it yesterday. We was talking about it. Girl Ryan, what's your opinion? I got TT's opinion yesterday, or anybody else in the chat that maybe have been watching the Karen Reed trial. Do y'all think she guilty or not guilty? For whoever's been watching it. Or do you think it's there's too much you think it's a cop cover up and it's not guilty, girl, Ryan? That she talking about Miss Verdicta, she talking about the Karen Reed trial. They're waiting for the verdict to come back. Excuse me, y'all. My throat's still a little messed up since all that medicine went up my nose that day. The Karen Reed trial, the verdict, they're waiting on the verdict to come back for that. They've been watching the crap out of that trial, y'all. Me, myself, and I think there was here's the thing. I do not think her hitting him would have busted that tail light. If you've ever busted a tail light on the back of a car, and especially a Jeep, do you know how hard that plastic is on that tail light and how much it takes to bust that tail light? You have to hit something real hard, right? Or somebody busted out with a baseball bat. And I technically believe somebody busted out that tail light with a baseball bat, because that's what it looked like to me. I'm just saying, it looked like somebody hit that motherfucker with a baseball bat. Now, is it possible for you to get cut up if you busted that thing with a baseball bat? Is it possible that he busted her tail light lens with a baseball bat? Very possible. Very possible. I believe somebody busted the back of that with a baseball bat, or she hit one of those things when you're trying to get gas. And even then, you have to hit it at a pretty good little speed. And here's the thing, to do damage to a vehicle by hitting a person, you actually have to be going a pretty good miles per hour. Unless you're in one of them little Cracker Jack box cars. Then it don't take much to damage it. You know what I mean? It don't take much at that point. Girl, what you being sorry for cussing? You good for cussing over here? You know you can curse over here. Your dirty language is accepted. I haven't made sure where you can do it. Actually, I think I made sure I changed that where people can actually cuss in chat and the mods don't have to okay it. Yeah, I actually went in there and changed that. Cause here's the thing. Cussing never hurt nobody. It's just a language. It's not like you sitting there doing something crazy. Miss Verdicta, they talking about the Karen Reed trial, the Karen Reed one. Some people think that, here's the thing. Some people say that the very first trial made her look kind of guilty, but it was also like there was enough reasonable doubt. But on the second trial, people are saying she looks innocent because of expert testimony. The expert testimony is that they believe that like something happened inside that house. Because here's the weird part. This is where people are mostly leaning more towards this, in my opinion. And y'all can tell me if I'm wrong for those who have watched it. Because the people repainted the basement, got rid of the dog, and sold the house, it makes them look guilty. That's why a lot of people, I think, lean more towards that. And the fact of that the medical examiner and the expert testimony is leading more towards he had a crushed back of his head and it wouldn't have came from the car. It would have came from something else. So a lot of people think that they was fighting in the basement and he may have fell in the basement or got pushed in the basement or knocked the fuck out and hit the back of his head. Or hit him in the back of the head with a baseball bat or whatever, that's actually what made him pass away. Now, here's my thing. I think this is my process. You know, when you got adrenaline and you don't feel something, I think there was a scuffle in the house, okay? I think there were drunk people there. I believe they were wife swapping or some crazy shit like that. And some kind of scuffle went down in the house. I think that's why the dog bit him too. Because think about it like this. A dog only gets aggressive like that if you go after their owner, or they see two people fighting and the dog is afraid and he's trying to stop it. I believe there was some kind of scuffle in the house, whether it be this dude and his old lady was having a physical altercation in the house or cussing each other, and the other person was trying to break it up. That could also be possible. The other person could have been trying to break it up, and because old dude was drunk, he thought the other dude was trying to do something, so he punched him, and then there started the scuffle. I believe he got pushed, and he hit the back of his head, and I believe that it started the injury to unalive him. Then I think she went to running out the house. Old dude was trying to hold him back, right, so she could leave. And I think he was chasing her. I think he busted out the back of the taillight lens with something, whether it be a brick or whatever. And I think he cut himself on his arm trying to do that. I think she may have bumped him, and when he fell, it finished up the injury. Because the first injury is what busted the skull in the first place. He was on an adrenaline rush and drunk, and he didn't feel the injury. Think about when you're under an adrenaline rush. They have said that people can still walk with a broken leg because of adrenaline. Adrenaline can make you not feel pain. That's what people don't understand. And he was under the influence of alcohol. Compound those two things. He didn't feel it at first. And I believe that little bit of bump on the second time and him slipping on that ice, or maybe he slipped himself. Maybe she didn't even hit him. Maybe he just slipped on the ice and busted the back head. It's also very possible that this is an accidental death, that nobody unalived this guy. It's very possible that the dog bit him. The person in the house told him, hey, y'all got to go. I can't deal with this bullshit. Y'all fighting and shit. Y'all drunk. Y'all got to go. And so they went to leave out of the house. She jumped in the car and said, well, I'm leaving your ass. He may have busted the back of the taillight lens as she was leaving him, right? As she was leaving him, he could have threw something to the back of the taillight lens and broke it. And then this dumbass could have actually fell and busted his own head on the fucking concrete. I'm just saying, there's a lot of different ways this could have went. And there's too much reasonable doubt to say somebody murdered somebody, in my opinion. There's too much reasonable doubt and too many different ways this could have went down, in my opinion. Like, think about it, girl, Brian. That's what I'm saying. Like, the tow truck guy could have did it. This person could have did it. There's this person that could have did it. It's a lot of different ways this could have went down, right? You can come up with how many scenarios in your brain of how this happened, right? There's too much reasonable doubt to say that one person was the reason, because we don't have all the facts. I do not believe that every person that is involved in this situation is telling the truth of what went down. I believe there is way too much. Huggies, Mr. JB. I'll see you in the streets. Make sure that you have a good day today. There's too many different scenarios that could have went down. In order, like, I believe that they should not have brought it to, once they got the hung jury the first time, I don't believe they should have charged her a second time or tried to come back with it. Because if she gets a non-guilty verdict, and let's say she really did have something to do with it. Let's say, we're going to play devil's advocate here, right? They can never charge her again. They don't have all the facts. They don't have all the information in order to make sure to say who did this. They just don't have it. And it could be possible she did have something to do with it. It could be possible that the other guy, another woman, it could be the tow driver, could have been the dog, it could have been he slipped and fell and busted his own head. We don't know. There's too much reasonable doubt. Everybody was under the influence of alcohol. Every person there was drunk. So every person's memory is going to be a little messed up on this situation. There is no definite of what happened here because there's no cameras. We don't get to see anything. We're going by other people's recollections, and every person at that house party was drunk. And also, I'll tell you this, girl Ryan, lie detector tests are not always admissible, and here's the reason why. If anybody's under the influence of certain medications, the lie detector won't be truthful. Secondly, lie detectors have been proven that some people just who have anxiety will fail a lie detector test, and they're not lying because their anxiety spikes, right? No matter what. So that's not 100% either. It picks up on your heart rate, and some people also have heart conditions. So for some people, they can't even get tested. So that's why they've been ruled out in a lot of cases, and that's why you don't see them as often as you used to, because they realized there were people who got found guilty because of a lie detector test, and years later, they found out the person wasn't guilty. Good morning, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark. How you doing, shark, baby shark? How you doing? You feeling better? You know how you doing with your back? Everything is how's everything? I know y'all getting ready for hurricane season now more than tornado season, because it's almost to that point where tornadoes are going to start slacking down a little bit, and then they'll rev back up for a little while come August, September for just a little bit, and then you won't see any during winter, obviously. So I know y'all getting ready for more hurricane stuff now. That is true, girl Ryan. That is true. Who would consent to it? Because a guilty person is going to be freaking out about a lie detector test. You're not wrong there. Sometimes playing that, well, are you willing to take a lie detector test? Will sometimes show, and you got to record the person when you ask them, because their body language, and if they pop out and sweat and all these different things would tell off on them if they're lying. You're not wrong about that, girl Ryan. And people get fidgety when they're lying. Have you ever noticed that? A person who's really 100% telling the truth, they're like, cool, I'll take it. No problem. They have no outward signs. A person that knows they're lying, they start getting fidgety. They start moving their hands. They start doing little things because they're anxiety ridden because of they know they're lying. You can tell by a person's body language. You don't even have to take a lie detector test. There are body language things to note that a person is lying. And I'm going to tell you, some of them women on that stand, I believe they were cooperating their testimonies with each other. Those two girls that are friends that were at the house party. Yeah, because I saw them looking down, looking to the right. You can see the anxiety in some of them, right? You can see them. Not necessarily that they're fully lying. It's that I don't think they fully remember. You get what I'm saying? And it almost seems like they're trying to make sure they remember correctly. And I do believe that it's possible that one of the women don't really remember shit hardly, and the other woman kind of told her what happened. And she's like, yeah, I remember that. I think they're cooperating. I do too. Girl Brian, think about it. They know more this time than they did the first time. Think about it. And they talk on the phone every day. They best friends. You know they talked about this case after they thought it was over with. You know they was sitting there talking to each other. You know that they was talking about what they both remembered. And now they're remembering more because they're talking about it. And so they're colluding or messing up what they actually remember and what's being told to them. Oh shit, the judge vacations with them. This is gonna be like some shit the night that the lights went out in Georgia. And the judge in the town's got bloodstains on his hands. Don't trust your soul with no backwoods southern lawyer. Now, tell me I'm wrong. Nights when the night the lights went out in Georgia. This is some shit like that, ain't it? Sometimes you can get away with shit because of who you know. Here's my question. Do y'all think that they didn't like Karen. They didn't like Karen, so you know, and old dude and whatnot, and so they're trying to pin it on Karen because they didn't like him and they're trying to protect one of their own. Ooh, that's also, yeah, that's what y'all were saying earlier, a cover up. Mm-hmm. Her brother's the Albert's attorney. Oh shit. Yeah, no, here's the thing. I've seen this too many times when a judge should recuse themselves because they have family ties or ties to a person. You get what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all ever look up Amaya Braxton, I believe that's why Karen Carpenter got away with unaliving that beautiful baby, because she was somehow or another connected to that damn judge and that damn person. And they didn't even, they didn't even get her with manslaughter. And at the very least, she should have got manslaughter. At the very least, she should have got tickets, traffic tickets. This woman walked away scot-free. Scot-free. Nothing. She unalived a child getting off the school bus and didn't get nothing. Now, if that had been me, I'd be under the motherfucking jail right now. Wouldn't have passed go, wouldn't have collected 200. There was another dude that who actually did accidentally go around. He went around the bus and did this. He got 20 to life for manslaughter, or 15 years for manslaughter. This woman didn't even get that. I'm telling you, there's too many people in this, in the same thing. Oh, so that makes sense. She was the outsider, wasn't part of their club. That makes sense. They gonna protect their own, and they don't care about what happens to her. They gonna put it all off on her because she ain't a part of their shit. She ain't a part of their club. They didn't like her to begin with. They only put up with her because of him. Mm-hmm. That makes sense, girl Rhyme. That makes sense. People that are outside the clique, sometimes that's what people do to them. They'll throw them out real quick like. How many times have we seen this in other cases? I mean, this ain't the only time this most likely happened. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I got to tell y'all something. Y'all know where I had that problem with my capsule busting and it went up through my nose and it's messed up my throat a little bit. My friend told me that I should take and mix my capsules in with like applesauce or something, and so that won't happen again. He said that he had a friend that had problems with the capsules doing that to them, and he said that I should do that instead of trying to swallow the capsule and it keep doing that to me if it keeps happening, to mix it in with applesauce or something. Like it might help keep that from happening. Because what happens is the capsule gets stuck in your throat for some reason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many crazy people out there, girl, around it. I'm going to say, now here's my question for y'all. Have any of y'all been watching the Diddy trial? Have any of y'all been watching that situation? How many of y'all think Diddy gonna get got? I think Diddy gonna get got because there's a couple reasons. One, I think Diddy gonna get got because they gonna get their money out of him one way or the other. I'm just saying. This ain't just about proving he did something, because if you look into the paperwork, they talk about getting money off this man, and this man got a lot of money, and I think they're gonna try to take away his money so he doesn't have the means to be able to do the things he's doing. Well, Miss Catherine, I did, but what happens is, and I drink like quite a bit with it to get it to go down. Every time, because I have gastritis and GERD, I believe it was coming back. If I talk right after I take it, it comes back up through my esophagus. I believe it's because of my GERD. Mm-hmm. But my friend told me that if you mix it with, if you take the capsule and you mix it with like applesauce, it won't happen. Oh yeah, and the have y'all heard about 50 Cent exposing Busta Rhymes, and that Busta Rhymes supposedly has Diddy-like taste, and his Fun Boys? Have y'all heard about that shit? You know 50 Cent be be telling some things sometimes. Like he said the shit about Diddy way back. Hell, Eminem and all them said shit about Diddy way back. Why you think they didn't hang out with him? Mm-hmm. Well, I will say I don't have as much problem with my GERD, Miss Catherine, because I have changed my diet and I don't eat spicy foods. I pay attention to what I eat, kind of situation. But I still have that issue every once in a while because obviously it's still gonna happen sometimes. It's done. The damage is done, if that makes sense. Um, the damage is already done. But I take Protonics when I do have an issue. That's the medication they put me on. I was on Pepantrazole, and that's something you can buy over the counter now at Walmart. But I was on the 50 milligram instead of the 30, I think you can buy over the counter. And it stopped working for me. So I started getting on Protonics. Protonics works better for me. And the actual name of it, speaking of which, I need to take my blood pressure medication. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't take my capsule yet. I'm going to take that in a little while because if I talk right after taking my capsule, for some reason it wants to come back up through my throat. But I've taken all my other medicines because they're pill forms, so they don't do that for some reason. Okay, I took my blood pressure medication. Um, but my stomach medication is called Pepantrazole, and it's a 40 milligram, and it's generic for Protonics. I take it when I'm having a problem. I'm supposed to take it every day, but technically I only take it when I have a problem because I did change my diet, Miss Catherine, and there are certain foods that I completely stay away from um, because of it. I have gastritis and GERD, and they're not friends, and they don't like each other. Yeah, I stay away from Miss Catherine. I try to stay away from a lot of foods that would absolutely mess up my GERD, and I just don't eat them. I stay away from a lot of spice because of that. There's a lot of certain foods that I completely just won't eat. I will tell you this: a lot of people don't know this, but if you have gastritis or you have a gas problem, right? Do you know what Beano is made out of? If you look on the ingredients list for Beano, guess what it is? Guess what the it is? It's potato starch. That's all it is, and that's why a lot of people with gastritis and GERD absolutely crave boiled or baked potatoes. You will absolutely crave it because of the potato starch. So when they say Beano before and they're Beano gas, how about just go eat you some potatoes before you know you're going to eat gassy foods? Because it's the same thing. It's potato starch. It's literally made out of potato starch. Look on the back of a Beano bottle. That's what it is. That's what the main ingredient in Beano is. It's potato starch. Mm-hmm. That's why, Miss Catherine, when I drink my coffee, when I actually do, I can't drink black coffee at all for no amount of reason. I have to have some kind of like milk product in it. And believe it or not, I'm gonna tell y'all something y'all may or may not know. Milk, plain milk, can actually upset your stomach if you have gastritis and GERD. Milk can actually make you sick. If you are having a burning in your throat, don't drink milk. It's actually going to make it worse. It'll cool it down for a few seconds, then it's actually going to make it worse. If you have acid reflux, milk is not your friend. It is not your friend. I am going to look into that Rise Coffee, Miss Catherine, because others have told me about it. But yeah, milk actually irritates GERD and makes it worse. I learned that from my doctor because I was having attacks, and my dumb ass was drinking milk thinking it would help it, ice cold milk. No, I was wrong. I'm going to tell you something that will help your gastritis and GERD though. and this is an old school remedy, baking soda in a little bit of water and mix it up and drink it. It's going to be nasty. It's not going to taste good. But what it does is it actually takes the, like when you have like too much acid production, it actually alkalines your stomach and brings it back to regular levels. I know, sounds weird. Yellow mustard also. Something about yellow mustard and mustard seed. Don't ask me. I don't know. But an old school remedy for acid reflux is a teaspoon of yellow mustard. It takes and brings you back to the alkaline. You would think it would make your heartburn worse. No, it actually makes it better. A teaspoon of yellow mustard. I only do that for very severe cases, Miss Catherine, when I can't pass a gas bubble and it's real bad. I don't do that all the time, right? Only when it's real bad and I can't pass it and I really need to pass it or it's going to make me throw up or make me like I'm having real bad pains. I only do that every once in a while. And then the yellow mustard works when it's an acid reflux problem. The baking soda when I'm having gastritis issues real bad and I can't pass gas and it hurting really, really bad in my stomach. That helps me for some reason pass gas. And then the yellow mustard when it's an acid reflux issue. When you have acid reflux, it works. That's an old school remedy, though. And it does work. It has worked for me every single time that I've had a gastritis issue. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. If y'all have problems with your stomach, if you go to the ER for a acid reflux and or stomach issue, ask them for what they call a GI cocktail. Most doctors know about it, but they won't prescribe it unless you ask for it sometimes. What a GI cocktail is, it's lidocaine mixed with Maalox. They mix it together, you drink it, and it is instantaneous relief. Instantaneous. It numbs your stomach. It numbs your throat, and you feel so much better within minutes. And they'll also give you the medication to lower the acid in your stomach, but the GI cocktail does work. And Miss Catherine says, fresh ginger is great for your GERD and gastritis. But I'm telling y'all, if y'all ever go to the hospital with some GI problems, ask for a GI cocktail. It works, don't it, Miss Catherine? That stuff's like something. I'm telling you this, Miss Catherine. The day I went in there for I had one of the worst attacks. I was in tears. I mean, tears rolling down my eyes. I'd rather have another baby. I was hurting so bad. I'll say labor and delivery wasn't that bad. But I was also having gallbladder attacks on top of that. Miss Raditha, Rise coffee is actually a mushroom coffee. And hold on, I'll show you right quick what Rise coffee is. It is a mushroom coffee that is made out of different mushrooms. It's a supplement for people. Here, I'll show you. Oh, I just tried to copy the link and I'm trying to share screen. What the hell's wrong with me today? So 2025's top 5 mushroom coffees, alternatives to support energy, focus, and concentration. Mushroom coffee alternatives are taking over the morning brew game, and for good reason. They contain ingredients that allow you to feel energized, less stressed, and don't disrupt your sleep schedule. Let's face it, coffee can be hard on the stomach, anxiety-inducing, and really addictive. Fortunately, there are tasty, healthy alternatives that give you the benefits of coffee without the negative effects. The thing is, it can be hard to which mushroom coffee alternatives are contenders and which are pretenders. Some well-known companies try to coast off their name alone, releasing second-rate formulas, and most people can't tell the difference. That's why it's important to know how to find a powerful and effective formula. This quick guide saves you time and reveals what to look for what to avoid, and the top 5 formulas on the market today. Here are the effects of mushroom coffee versus black coffee. Little to no caffeine in the mushroom, and in black coffee, 96 milligram caffeine per cup. So you get no jitters and no crash with mushroom drink, but with black coffee, you get jitters and you crash. Vitamin D and B12, potassium, selenium, antioxidants, and prebiotics in mushroom drink. In coffee, you get vitamin B12, magnesium, and antioxidants. In mushroom drink, you get supports heart, brain, gut, and immune health, and sustainable energy and mental focus. Where versus black coffee provides temporary energy and mental stimulations because of the effects of caffeine. Now, somebody also told me if you did cold brew coffee, it would not affect your stomach as much because it doesn't release the acidity of the beans as in hot brew. Somebody did tell me that. The benefits of mushroom coffee alternatives: energy without the crash, enhances focus and concentration, promotes digestion, improves sleep quality, and supports immune functioning and heart health support. Why drink mushroom coffee alternatives? It's no secret that coffee can provide a nice buzz in the morning, but at what cost? Caffeine addiction can be hard to break, can cause irritability, and not to mention can be hard on the gut. On the flip side, mushroom coffee alternatives give you natural energy, focus, and more, but without the jitters and crash. If it caters to individuals who are looking to quit their coffee habit and replace it with something more nutritious and easier on the gut. Here are the top ingredients to look for in high-quality coffee alternatives that promote focus, alertness, and overall wellness. Cordyceps, Ceneus mushrooms. Promotes blood circulation and stamina. Chaga or CHAGA mushrooms assist with gut health and helps keep cholesterol levels within a normal range in healthy individuals. Reishi mushroom supports healthy heart function, blood pressure, blood circulation, and immunity. Prebiotic and probiotic aids in digestion, supports gut lining, and helps with nutrient absorption. Probiotics, the key to a great coffee alternative. The human gut is home to trillions of bacteria. On top of keeping your digestion in tip-top shape, these bacteria also can help turn nutrients into energy. You should consider a coffee alternative that includes powerful probiotics like Bacillus coagulatus, which is a unique heat-resistant strain that can withstand the temperature of your stomach acid, unlike most other strains. How to enjoy mushroom coffee. Add to pancakes, add to coffee, add to hot chocolate, add to smoothie, add to plant-based milk, or add to water. What to avoid. Pure mushroom formulas. If your coffee alternative is only comprised of mushrooms and nothing else, it is most likely going to taste awful. Look for formulas that contain additional flavor-enhancing ingredients that cover up the taste of mushrooms, like ginger or cacao. Excessive caffeine. Many formulas contain doses of caffeine that exceed 40 milligrams, roughly half a cup of coffee. If you struggle with sleep, as so many people do, it is your best interest to avoid this much caffeine, especially in the afternoon. What else to consider? Comprehensive mushroom blends. Some mushroom drinks contain a blend of just 2 or 3 types of mushrooms and may not even specify which types they use. It is best to pick a beverage with a comprehensive mushroom blend with at least 5 different types of mushrooms listed on the label. Real results take time. It is important to know that dramatic changes to your health won't happen overnight. It can take months for significant effects to take place. Month 3 is when many people report seeing a night and day difference in their energy levels, immunity, and digestion. So if you want the full effect of a coffee alternative, then stick with it for at least 3 months to feel real results. Subscription plans. Coffee alternatives deliver their best results when used over time. Plus, when you find one you love, you won't want to stop. With a subscription plan, you won't have to worry about running out, and you'll get the best value. Money back guarantee. It's always better and safer to invest in a product that offers a 100% money back No questions asked guarantee. This shows the company's faith in the potency of its product and the results you will experience. Here's a side-by-side comparison of how our product, Beyond Brew, stacks up against the competition. So here's Beyond Brew, Rise, Mud/Water, Everyday Dose, and Rasa. These are the some of the bigger ones that are on the market right now. Now, amount of caffeine. The Beyond Brew has 10 milligrams. The Rise has 48 milligrams. The Mud and the Water has 35 milligrams. The Everyday Dose has 39 milligrams. And Rasa has 0 milligrams. 5 different mushrooms. Both Rise and Beyond Brew have, or no, they're saying only Beyond Brew has 5. They both have 5 different kind of mushrooms in them. The others do not. Good source of fiber. Beyond Brew is saying they're the only ones with that. Both pre and probiotics. Beyond Brew is the only one saying they're doing that. Flavor enhancing ingredients. Beyond Brew, Mud Water, and Rasa. They're saying. What else to consider? Free app with subscription. The Beyond Brew does not have that. The Rise has that. This one up here, which is Mud and Water, does not have that. Everyday Dose does, and Rasa does not. Price, one-time purchase. Theirs is $39.99. Rise is $45. Let's see. Let's see if we can, where you can see. Okay. Mud Water is $50. Everyday Dose is $45. And Rasa is $29.99. Money back guarantee. The Beyond Brew says they have a 365-day money back guarantee. Rise has a 30-day back guarantee. Mud Water has a 30-day. Every Dose has a 45-day money back guarantee. And Rasa has a 30-day money back guarantee. Those are the 5 below are the top 5 products to support energy, focus, and concentration, both based on the criteria above. This is Beyond Brew. They have an A+ overall grade. Get 10% off with the code FIRST10. 6 mushroom extract blend, 11% daily value of fiber, contains probiotics and prebiotics, multi-flavor optional, original Keiko, caramel macchiato, and vanilla latte, 365-day money-back guarantee. Cons, no app included. Mushroom coffee from Rise. They have an A overall grade. They have a 6 mushroom blend, free gratitude journaling app. Cons, no fiber, no probiotics. It has more than 40 grams of caffeine and no flavor enhancing ingredients. Mud or Water has a B+ overall grade. The pros are they have organic Keiko and spice blend, USDA certified organic, and they have less than 40 milligrams of caffeine. Cons, no pre or probiotics, only 4 mushrooms listed, low amount of fiber, no app included. Mushroom coffee by Dose. B is their overall grade. They have less than 40 milligrams of caffeine. Free breathwork app. Cons, no fiber, no probiotic, only contains 2 types of mushrooms, and no flavor enhancing ingredients. Rasa by Original Rasa, a B-. Pros, contains prebiotic chicory, 13 herb blend for flavor. Cons, only contains 2 types of mushrooms, no probiotic, does not specify fiber content, and no app included. So they're telling you here some of the benefits and different things for each one. Now, most people I know say the Rise is actually pretty good. It does have 6 different mushrooms in it, which, things it saying no probiotics though. But here's the thing. They do have prebiotics in Rise, if I'm not mistaken, but not pro. You may want the Rise above the other one because probiotics, well, actually, if you take too many of them, can give you the shits. I'm just saying. If you ever took a probiotic for a little while, the capsules, yeah. That's what Rise coffee is, Miss Raditha. Yeah, they've had that thing where they go, coffee's not good for you. Coffee is good for you. Coffee's not good for you. It is good for you. Just like the salt thing. Too much salt's not good for you, but you need salt, but you don't need to. They go back and forth on that. There's studies that say it's bad for you. Studies that I think everything within moderation is the way anything should go. But they do say that switching to this mushroom alternative does give you the benefits of coffee without the negatives of coffee, right? They say that it does help, a lot. Now, I would say if you have problems with your digestive system, Beyond Brew might be better for you than Rise because probiotics are going to help with gut health. But you shouldn't probably take that every day. So I would get Beyond Brew and Rise, and I would do it to where like I would do Beyond Brew once or twice a week, and the rest of the time I would do Rise. There's a reason why. The probiotics and prebiotics are good, but you got to be careful doing that every day. Trust me. Oh, I know. I know probiotics are good for gut health, but you know as well as I do, if you take too much of that, it can also make you have you're gonna have a lot of diarrhea. Is what I'm gonna say. It's good for you, but trust and believe when I tell you that after a little while, you might need to take a little breaky break. But they're saying, Miss Catherine, that Beyond Brew is better for that than Rise is. Because it does have the fiber and the pre and probiotics in it. It's called Beyond Brew. That's what they're saying. And it has 3 different flavors: caramel macchiato, vanilla latte, and original Keiko. Organic lion's mane, cognitive function. Organic Keiko for heart health. Organic Changa for gut health and stamina. Or organic ginger for digestive support. Organic turkey tail for immune support. Organic cordyceps for clean energy. Cinnamon for metabolic health. Organic Risha or mood and immune support. And Bacillus coagulanus for gut health. So they're telling you right here what they put in it. So I mean, maybe you should try that too, Miss Catherine, the Beyond one. I drink right now. I have black coffee, but I mix in like this chocolate caramel creamer, and it's awesome, and I love it. But I might start trying this stuff myself. See how it works, and see if I could drink it. Because I am very picky, I admit that. I am very picky. But this Beyond Brew is supposed to be real good for you. Uh, it it's basically sitting there telling you, like it has 3 grams of fiber, contains pre and probiotics, flavor enhancing ingredients. Oh, they say Rise has got it as well. And there's 30 for each one of them. There's 30 servings per packet. And it does tell you the prices down here. So Rise and Beyond are actually everyday dose is the cheapest. It's saying right here. Um, but it's saying that the Beyond Brew is 6 ounces jar, but the Rise is a 6.3 ounce bag. Everyday Dose is a 7.4 ounce bag, and Mud Water is a 9 ounce jar. So I don't know where they're getting the fact of that's 30 doses in every one of them, even though some of the bags are bigger or the amount that you get in them is more or less. I'm not sure on that. But I would say by looking at even if this is an ad for Beyond Brew, they are telling you certain things. I would say Rise or Beyond Brew are going to be your best bets, depending on if you want the probiotics or not. It says this is zero sugar, only 20 calories. It says contains 6 to 9 teaspoons of sugar, 14 candy bars per week is what they're showing that as a cup of coffee that you would get from they're trying to X out the things so they're not actually telling you which brand this is because they could get sued for that. But basically that's like a Starbucks coffee, and it contains 6 to 9 teaspoons of sugar, if not more, depending on what you get put in it, which would equal 14 candy bars per week. You know what I'm saying? And right here, they're showing that you can get 4 jars every 4 months, every 2 months, 1 jar a month. It's like a subscription plan. And you can do a one-time purchase if you choose to. Basically. Hold on just a minute. I gotta go make sure everything's opened up and all this other stuff because somebody just came back. Sorry about that, y'all. And also, y'all might hear my dogs for a little while. Whew. Sorry. I will say that I am very picky. I worry about the taste. Um, I'm a very picky person. I am very picky. I admit it. Even when I was little, my mom tried to make the doctor tell me to eat more vegetables. And my mom had to figure out ways to hide vegetables in my food. Like, she figured out ways to hide vegetables or make it where I couldn't taste it. That's why she loved making me soup when I was little, because it was the way that I would eat vegetables. You know what I'm saying? So she used to make me all kind of soups and things like that because it was the best way for her to get me to eat it. And a while ago, if I'd have had myself unmuted, y'all would have heard my dogs howling. They do that every time somebody comes back. They howl. I mean, they be, ow, 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 you know what I mean? But I'm sitting here chilling, breathing, and living. Now, I do, now that I've gotten older, like certain vegetables more than I used to when I was little. I found out the way that I do my broccoli, right? So I like to take chicken stock and put a little bit of lemon juice in it and some apple cider vinegar and kind of like steam my broccoli in it a little bit. I don't want it overdone. I don't want it mushy. I don't like it mushy, right? So I want it cooked just a little bit in that. I want it to be fork tender, pretty much. And I like the way that it takes out the bitterness of the broccoli when you do it that way. I love when I eat Brussels sprouts, I do not like them boiled. I don't like them broiled. I don't like them steamed. I like when I take my Brussels sprouts and I do them in the oven, and I like it roasted in the oven. No, but yeah, I like my Brussels sprouts roasted in the oven. It gives them a different flavor to me. They kind of taste like roasted peanuts or roasted tree nuts when you do that to me, so they taste better. I like it with the olive oil, salt, and black pepper, and I also do like occasionally I'll add like there's two other things that I'll use like a little bit of butter and honey, or a honey drizzle, just a plain old honey drizzle. Honey's real good on it. Boom boom. Boom boom's under the blanket. Let me get him. Gotta go potty? Oh, you're okay. Go ahead. My dog was like, "Yeah, I want to go." I also do like it with soy sauce, red wine vinegar. I also love to one of the things that I love to do to hide my vegetables, I love a good stir fry in a wok with like soy sauce and stuff like that. I like to take my veggies and kind of do them like Asian style. And my son loves that. So it's an easy way for me to get him to eat vegetables and different things like that. He absolutely loves stir fry. I like using yellow zucchini squash is good, is okay. Yellow squash is okay, but I like using the green squash because it doesn't get as mushy. It doesn't like the best way that I do my stir fries. You have to remember with each individual vegetable, they cook differently, and some cook it faster and some cook slower. right? So you have to add in your vegetables depending on how long it takes to make each one pork tender, right? So with my squash, I tend to add it in a little bit later. Same thing depending on which meats I'm using. Like if it's chicken, I'm going to cook it a little bit longer than I would the steak or the shrimp. You do not want to overcook shrimp. It will get rubbery and nasty. Technically, if you're buying it from the store, most of the time it's already pre-cooked a little bit. If you're buying the peeled cooked shrimp, it's usually pre-cooked. So the only thing you want to do with that is at the very end, while it's at a roaring boil, throw your shrimp in and turn your heat off. Because you do not want it overcooked. Same thing with like really thin steak. If you cut up real thin steak meat, do it the same way because it'll overcook it and it'll become rubbery if you put it in too soon. Which like broccoli needs to cook a little bit longer than squash does, and carrots need to cook even longer than both of those do sometimes, depending on which kind of, if you're doing sliced thin, depending on what kind. Yes, I do cook those separately too. I usually cook mine like separately at a specific, like I add my vegetables as they need to cook, right? And then at the very end, I'll add everything together in one pot. So, that's the thing about, yeah, that's true. That's true. You can overcook the good stuff out of them too if you make them mushy. That's right. That's right, Miss Beth. I like mine fork tender. I like mine pretty much steamed a little bit, cooked to perfection, as I would say. But when I'm doing stir fries, so I'm sitting here thinking, I have all my vegetables cut up, right? And I'm thinking of which one do I need to add first? What needs to cook the longest? What needs to cook the shortest? So I'm timing my things so that all my vegetables come out. You know what I'm saying? I always do my onion and my bell pepper and all that first, and saute it a little bit. And then I throw in like my broccoli. And if I have any harder vegetables that need to cook a little bit longer, or I'll do my chicken first, then throw in my broccoli, start doing my seasonings. Then I'll throw in my green squash because it needs a little bit longer than my yellow squash. And you know what I'm saying? So I'll sit there and I'll time it to where each vegetable is going to cook in the time that it needs to. The very last thing I ever add to my stir fries would be my steak or my shrimp because they take the least time to cook. You don't want to overdo your steak or your shrimp. And I usually have my seasonings in there with it already, like my soy, my teriyaki. I use a little bit of Worcestershire. And I have an Asian noodle seasoning that I use. Really good. And I done lost my damn. Yeah, I'm always losing stuff. Always. Always. I don't know why I lose everything so damn fast. But I do. Where'd it go? Why am I always losing it? I hate when that happens. I see you, Dutch. I see you. I know you're there. I see you, Dutchess. I see you too, bro. My dogs are in here right now trying to get me to pay attention to them because they're pitiful like that. I know. I see you too. I know. Now they're going to run and make it somebody else's issue, but they had to come in here and tell me that they love Mama. Oh, there it is. I found it. I swear it is. Miss Catherine, I lose my phone, and I could have just had it, and I put it somewhere. I put it up, right? I put it up, and I put it up from myself and lose it. Oh, that happens to me a lot, Miss Beth. Like I be typing so fast that sometimes I type words backwards when I'm typing real fast, and it's mostly because I thought I had the right button and I'm not looking at the buttons as I'm typing because I'm typing too fast. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get the A and the E mixed up or something like that, or sometimes I type so fast you can't even tell what the word I was meaning was. I'm like, oops, my bad. I'm typing too fast. I apologize. Yeah, I also hate when people overdo potatoes, and when people do potatoes and they overdo them in a pot, and then it gets that gritty flavor from potatoes because they overdid the potatoes. Ooh, have you ever accidentally had a soup? Somebody overdo the potatoes in the soup, and it's like, it's got like that. You know what I mean? Like, the potatoes done broke apart in the soup, and it's just, no, no, thank you. Oh no, it's I've always had like a lot of times, Miss Catherine. I've always like done that for some reason. It's like if I don't think about it in 6 months' time and I put something up, I forgot what I did with it, and I know I put it up, but I do that all the time. I can't stand though when somebody overdoes a potato and it's like, like Now that's different if you're actually doing a potato soup and you're going to break down the potato, or if you're doing the potato a specific way. But when I want my potato in soup, I want it to be kind of like a baked potato, to where it's fork friendly, but it's not mush. I cannot stand that texture. For some reason, that texture really bothers me. Like mushy foods, there's only one mushy food that I like, and it's not even a food group per se. It's ice cream. And it's not even that mushy. It still has a little bit of firmness to it, even though it's ice cream. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like that mushy texture when it comes to. That's why I myself do not eat mashed potatoes. I don't like the way the potatoes taste when they're mashed. I just don't. I've tried. I can't do it. And it's not that every person around me has like the flavors there, if that makes sense. Like the flavor, like it's flavorful, but it's just something about the texture that I don't like. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And if somebody overdoes, like here's the thing, I'm not a huge fan of certain kind of potato salads, and it's not because of the potatoes in the potato salad. I don't like mayonnaise. I can't stand mayonnaise with a passion. I am not a mayonnaise person, and very rarely will I eat anything with mayonnaise in it unless you cover up the mayonnaise so much so that I can't taste it at all. No, ma'am, I do not, Miss Catherine. I do not like shepherd's pie. Can't stand it. Whew. Well, I actually, Miss Catherine, I'll tell you something, Miss Beth, that might help you. I have a little thing for like really important paperwork. I have this little thing that looks like an organizer. That's where I put all that. So if I end up forgetting, I know it's in there. I know it's in there and kind of situation. It's just like when I put something up on a shelf and I forget what shelf, or I put something in a drawer and I forget what drawer. And I'm like, oh, snap. I just put that up for myself and now I can't remember where I put it. But like important paperwork, I have a specific thing I put that in. Now, see, I like mustard but can't stand mayonnaise. It's something. Here's the thing: it's not mayonnaise. Really has no flavor to me. It's more of when I taste mayonnaise, it's the greasy texture and the mouthfeel that it gives that I don't like. You do the same thing, Miss Beth. That way I don't. I have the same thing, Miss Beth. I have this little filing thing. That way I don't forget stuff or lose important paperwork. Yep, that's the only way I can keep up with that stuff. But like if it's something that I carry around daily, like I keep my medicine in a specific spot, so I know it's there and I don't lose it, right? But like my phone or like if I have something in my hand and I put it down, a pen, something like that, I'm always losing that shit. Yeah, I know it's nothing more than eggs and it's actually oil. Um, it's not. They add a bunch of oil to it, and it's the texture to me of the oil. You know how when it's the mouthfeel that it gives to me. I don't like that. So when people, if they use mayo as an alternative, if they put like dill in it and they loosen up the mayo, I'm okay with it. If that makes sense. Like you have to put a lot of flavor in it and you kind of have to cut down on the grease a little bit. Like maybe add more vinegar, add more something else to make it to where it doesn't have that mouthfeel to it. I'm okay with it. Like when people turn it into, because if you think about it, most aiolis are made the same way, correct? But I like ranch dressing. Ranch dressing is what? It's thinner than mayonnaise when it comes to the grease texture, and it's got a flavor added into it, right? But technically, all aiolis are made out of the same thing. It's all made out of egg whites, oil, and vinegar, correct? But it just depends on how you do it. Now, I believe, Miss Catherine, if I made mine homemade, it probably wouldn't be that bad for me because I probably wouldn't add that much oil to it. It's something about the texture of the kind you get out of a store that I cannot stand. So yeah, I believe if I probably made it homemade, I would probably eat it better than I would the stuff from the store. But I don't know even then because I do like eggs. I just don't like when you add eggs and oil together with no flavoring. I can't stand it. It has no flavor to me. It tastes like ass. And I've literally ordered burgers before and I've said no mayo and they put it on there and it literally makes me gag when I get that mayo flavor. I cannot stand it. Now, I have had someone put it very thinly on a garlic bacon burger, really thin, and the garlic butter was enough to where I couldn't taste it and it didn't bother me as bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't get the mouthfeel of the mayo, if that makes sense. It was such a thin layer and the garlic butter overpowered it so much so that I didn't get the flavor of it, if that makes sense. It's something about when it's globbed on and it's something about that texture that really bothers me. I don't know what it is. Because it really, technically, if you think about it, mayonnaise has no flavor really. It doesn't really have a flavor. It's a texture problem with most people. Um, it really doesn't. Mustard has more of a pronounced flavor, and so does ketchup. You know what I'm saying? It has more of a texture thing. Oh, I love flavored butter. I love garlic butter. Oh my god, I love garlic butter. And I love homemade butter. Like straight out of milk and you churn it yourself. Oh, ain't nothing like it. Because I will say that these stuff that you buy um, over the counter when it comes to butter tends to have more grease in it than actual butter. So I do like making my own homemade sometimes better. It is so much better to me. It has a creamier texture, all this other stuff. I have used homemade butter. I have also bought homemade butter from the Amish folks because they do churn and do their own churn. And I'm gonna tell you something: when they churn their butter and they churn it right, oh man, ain't nothing like some good homemade churned butter. Just saying, it's smooth. The texture is smooth. It's amazing. I love adding different flavors to butter. Hmm. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Miss Beth. Oh, that Amish butter, Miss Catherine. I love that stuff. And I love that it's what is it's a let me see if I can find it, the name of it. It's a Irish butter that I bought over the counter that was really good. Yeah, the Kerrygold. You right, Miss Catherine. That's the same butter I was talking about. That stuff is delicious. That's a good ass butter. Hmm. That's that Irish butter I was talking about. Yeah, yeah. I call that the Irish butter, Miss Catherine. That stuff good. Um, that stuff's real good. That butter right there may be a little more expensive, but it's good. I'm telling you that much. That's some good stuff right there. You right, Miss Catherine. That's some good stuff. It's got a good texture to it, good flavor. Ooh, yeah, Miss Beth, you got that good stuff. You got the Kentucky and from Kentucky icebox pickles, homemade jam and jelly from the Amish. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't nothing like homemade pickles versus the shit you get out the store. Ain't nothing like a good homemade pickle. I've made them myself. There was a dude, and I'm gonna tell you something. I used to hate tomatoes. Like the only way I would eat tomatoes was in ketchup or spaghetti sauce. I would not eat any, like even stewed tomatoes. I didn't like them when I was little. But there was this lady who used to live next door to me when I was little, and she made the best canned tomatoes. She canned them herself that I have ever ate in my entire life. She is the person that made me fall in love with just eating tomatoes, canned tomatoes. She is the reason. That lady right there, she made me fall in love with tomatoes because of her. I never ate canned tomatoes since that tasted as good as her canned tomatoes. And I'll say that. That lady was awesome. That lady was amazing. Rest in peace, Miss Barbara. Speaking which, her name was Miss Barbara. She was awesome. Rest in peace. She was awesome. She could can anything, and I'm gonna tell you, she made it taste delicious. She had me eating vegetables I didn't even like. Hmm. That woman had me in love with canned vegetables because of her, because she used to can them herself. And the way she put them up, I swear to God, the seasonings that she used, oh, oh, I swear. Mm. And my mouth's watering thinking about it. You're hearing not guilty? Oh. Let's see. I'm sitting here looking, Miss Raditha, and the I guess they haven't updated yet. I'm trying to find an update because most everything's saying from 1 hour, 1 day ago, and stuff like that. Um, I'm sitting here trying to look and see if they've. I keep from 1 hour ago. This just says first full day of deliberations with no verdicts. Da 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 da. They haven't updated the internet yet on that yet. I'm waiting though. Oh, Chef Don Don is providing coverage. Right now, is saying they're still deliberating on the Karen Read trial. The jury is still deliberating. Um, so that hasn't updated yet, as far as I know. Let me see if let's check Law and Court TV if they have live coverage. Court TV tends to have like the live coverages a lot. They're doing the verdict watch right now. Let's see if anything's come back on that. Watch live. Uh-oh. Tisa Tales and Armand Wiggins are also providing coverage right now. How many commercials are they going to show at one time? Yeah, Tisa Tales and Armand Wiggins are also providing coverage at this time, and Chef Don Don is providing coverage at this time. But yeah, so far they're talking about the by what I see, uh, that the jury had some questions, and so and it says Beverly Kenyon denied a motion from the defense to amend the verdict slip. The jury spent a full day deliberating. Crowds continued to go outside of the hospital waiting for the verdict. I'm gonna see if they come back yet because I keep they keep playing just they're not back yet, so they're playing a lot of uh commercials right now. Hey, Mr. Jim Connington, the best Jim, the only Jim that ever was, that ever did, and did it well. Yeah, I'm checking, but yet so far, no, they ain't no verdict yet. The jury is asking some kind of question right now, though, about some kind of information, and I'm guessing they want some info or something, is what I just saw a while ago. But right now, their court TV's on pause because they're playing a bunch of what do you call that? A bunch of things. Here it comes back. I'm gonna show y'all right quick what's going on.
What I'm going to say is, yes, the videos are evidence. You should weigh the defendant's statements as you would any other piece of evidence and give them whatever weight you deem appropriate. But first, then I'll go and I'll read the electronic communications and the humane practice that covers it.
If the I don't have a principled objection to it if the court adds the word "if any."
I understand.
Because I don't want them to think, for instance, the way that it's worded as the Commonwealth suggested it, they have to weigh it the same way they weigh other pieces of evidence. Every single piece of evidence is weighed in and of itself. It's individual to the piece of evidence that's presented. For instance, they could weigh the statements by Ms. Reed. They could give it no weight. Each individual juror could decide, I'm going to dispatch it altogether and give it no weight, while giving another piece of evidence, like whatever that might be, the testimony of one of the ARCA witnesses, complete weight. I think that we need to stress that the clips bear no additional weight, no additional gravity than anything else that they've considered. And the only way to do that is very simply, you give this the weight, if any, that you decide is appropriate. It doesn't, I think, comparing it and contrasting to other pieces of evidence in the case, it's unnecessary, and it tends to suggest they have to give it weight.
Okay. So your objection's noted. Now let's get to the third one. Does convicting guilty on a subcharge, example offense 2, number 5, convict the overall charge? What do you want to say, Mr. Jackson?
Your Honor, I appreciate the effort that the court went to amend the verdict slip as it relates to count 2. And I think there are some excellent suggestions by the court in the verdict slip. By and large, I think question number 3 is answered by the amendments in the verdict slip. So we certainly could say something like, does convicting guilty, the question was, quote, does convicting guilty on a subcharge, example offense 2, number 5, convict the overall charge? The answer is no, obviously. And perhaps we could formulate an answer that says something along the lines of, no, new verdict slips have been provided that will make it more clear, or something of that nature, as well as a decision of guilty on the OUI charge 002, number 5, is an explicit acquittal on the higher charges in offense 002, which is a proper statement of the law. And then there are suggestions that we have regarding the edits that the court has made to the verdict slip. And I'm happy to go over those with you and put those on the record. Okay, go ahead. With regard to going from the top to the bottom, just under number 1 reads, not guilty of the offense charged or any lesser included offense. We would propose that the court add the consistent language that it's added throughout the verdict slip. If you, quote, if you find the defendant not guilty of the offense charged or any lesser included offense, comma, stop and sign the verdict slip, period. That's the only place that that language doesn't appear, and I think it should appear.
Okay.
The second is a relatively minor issue. However, under number 2, sub 2, the parenthetical check one or both of the following, I think it should say, just to clarify it further, if guilty, comma, check one or both of the following.
All right, I think I'm going to leave it because it appears only under the guilty.
It appears only on,
Under the guilty. So go ahead. I'll hear you further.
going further, going under number 3, toward the bottom of the page, in the parenthetical that the court suggested, which we find is excellent. If you find the defendant guilty of the lesser offense
Okay.
of involuntary manslaughter, we would simply add that clause.
So we'd have to add it in all of them,
Correct.
which makes sense. I think
Correct.
we had it in the first one.
Right.
Okay.
And then moving to page 2, at the top of the page under sub 4, again,
Hold on one second.
of course.
Okay.
We had the same suggestion. It appears that the court is not inclined to give it. If guilty, check one or both of the following. And there's a typo. It says the
We
parenthetical says
fixed it.
check one of. Okay.
Yes. So we changed of to or.
So my only suggestion to that would be to, again, add the if guilty, comma, check one or both of the following.
Okay.
On that page, going down to the bolded parenthetical, same thing. If you find the defendant guilty of the lesser offense of motor vehicle homicide.
Okay.
Moving down under sub 5, the
We still
OUI.
need to say stop and sign the verdict slip.
Right. After the word stop and sign the verdict slip.
Yep.
And then under sub 5, again, the same thing. We just suggested that for consistency that it say, if guilty, check one of the following of the both. And the final edit would be in the final parenthetical, the last sentence. If you find, I think her should be
Yeah.
changed to the defendant.
Should.
If you find the defendant not guilty on this offense and all other offenses, check the first box on page 1.
Okay.
And those are the edits that we have suggested for the verdict
All
slip.
right. Mr. Brennan?
I don't have any disagreement with the edits.
Okay, let's get a break here. Then we'll see the rest of this discussion before the jury's brought back in with these answers. We're watching along with you, along with all of these people outside of the courthouse in Dedham, Massachusetts. We have questions, don't have a verdict yet.
So basically, the jury is deliberating right now, but they have questions about verbiage in the, in the verdict slips of certain things, like if we guilt her on this one for DWI, does that mean she's also guilty of this? Or if we don't find her guilty of this, could we, you know what I'm saying? So they're having questions about the verbiage and whatnot. So they're deliberating and they're going to come back in and blah, 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 talk about that. So it's still right now in deliberation. I have to get off here in a minute though, because I do got to go do some stuff, real life stuff and all that, and how that goes. But I do want to thank each and every single one of you for being here today with me and chilling with me. And if in case y'all want to, if the Karen Read trial or whenever it does come back a guilty or a non-guilty verdict, if y'all would like to do a conversation about it, just let me know or whatnot. Either post under this post when this video goes up, or on my community wall somewhere if y'all want to do that, or right now y'all can let me know. And we could totally have a conversation about the verdict when it comes in. Y'all know I don't mind doing that. No, the defense already did theirs, Miss Catherine, as far as I know on the Karen Read trial. Yeah, they've already did their due diligence. So now it's up to the jury to decide whether she's guilty or not. They did their closing arguments and everything. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's why this trial has went on for as long as it has. This trial's been actually fairly long trial. So right now it's a verdict watch. The defense has already did their due diligence and the everything. Now the Diddy trial. Oh, you talking about the Diddy trial? Oh no, the Diddy trial ain't on verdict yet. No, the Diddy trial's still ongoing. For the Diddy trial, they still have they ain't even finished with the if I'm not mistaken, they ain't even finished with the I don't think they've even went into the defense yet on the Diddy trial. I think they're still calling witnesses for the prosecution in the Diddy trial. Yeah, no, the Karen Reed trial's just to come up for a verdict. No, Diddy's is still ongoing. It's liable to last a whole nother week. Today they're supposed to. The defense says should their case should last 2 to 5 days. That's what the defense is saying. As if 27 minutes ago, Combs contacted Cassie Ventura after 2016 hotel attack. Call me now. It says jury sees financial documents. Prosecutors say that tied Bad Boy Entertainment to alleged freak-off payments. Jury sees freak-off videos before court adjourns for the day. Juror issues again discussed after court adjourns. Defense says their case presentation could last 2 to 5 days. So it's still ongoing. They're still doing witnesses and whatnot. So yeah, I think that trial is going to be going on for a good little minute from now. It's still going. So yeah. Hey, Miss Jessica. Yeah, with the Diddy trial, that's going to be going on for a minute. The defense ain't even had their chance yet, so they're still doing prosecuting. The prosecutors and whatnot are still presenting their case. So that one's going to be going on for a good, at least another week or so. Karen Reed's trial, though, her verdict is going to be coming in. That's the one that people are talking about, the verdict coming in. Now, Diddy still got a minute, y'all. Because right now, I think there is still more people to be called to the stand. Also, they are trying to get jurors. There's a few jurors who may have, they have a gag order on the jury and some of the attorneys. So they're talking about something about possibly throwing out a juror. I'm not sure about that. And there is video evidence being played for the jury only. So the prosecution is playing videos, internet evidence under seal, meaning that the jury can see and hear what is going on, but the public is left in the dark. So there are videos being played for the jury that we are not able to see about the freak-offs and different things. So when people were talking about certain videos would be released to the jury, they were right about that. So the whoever the jury is able to see some crazy shit. But I will see y'all later. I got to go. I'm sorry. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Huggies. Bye.
I'm from the TUBE, E-L-O, I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the T-U-P. E-L-O, I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the T-U-P. E-L-O, I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the T-U-P. E-L-O, I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side with a window introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, Captain C banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training around on 1800, making time stand still. Crystalline swinging down on 1800, watching out for them knuckleheads that be stanging around on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging around on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about around 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse play it out. Remember the blue apartments from OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, saw blue a big Anthony using P.
I'm from the T-U-P. E-L-O, I'm reppin' my